Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This ceremony will begin in 15 minutes. Please begin moving to your seats and prepare to either turn off your phone or put it in airplane mode. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin shortly. As a reminder, today's ceremony is an indoor event. Military members should stand at attention on the first note of musical honors and the national anthems. We request that all guests please turn cell phones off or put in airplane mode in order to not take up bandwidth for our live stream. Thank you. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Captain Courtney Sullivan, your narrator for this afternoon's ceremony. Welcome to the 9th Air Force, Air Forces Central Change of Command ceremony. The presiding official for today's ceremony is General Eric Kurilla, Commander, United States Central Command. This afternoon, Lieutenant General Alexus G. Grynkewich, Commander, 9th Air Force, Air Forces Central, will relinquish command to Lieutenant General Derek C. France. We are honored to have a number of distinguished guests in attendance this afternoon. We would ask that you hold your applause until all guests are recognized. His Excellency, Dr. Khalid bin Mohammed Al Attiyah, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of State for Defense Affairs. The Honorable Jean-Baptiste Favre, the French Ambassador to Qatar. The Honorable Timmy Davis, the United States Ambassador to Qatar. The Honorable Lothar Frischlader, the German Ambassador to Qatar. Staff Brigadier General Pilot Mohammed Hayasat, Commander of the Royal Jordanian Air Force. Major General Talal Suleiman Al-Ghamdi, Deputy Commander of the Royal Saudi Air Force. General Stéphane Mille, Chief of Staff of the French Air and Space Force. Vice Admiral Emmanuel Slars, Alan Dean. Vice Admiral George Wyckoff, Commander of the United States Naval Forces Central Command. Mrs. Shannon Grynkewich, wife of Lieutenant General Grynkewich. Mr. Justin Grynkewich, son of Lieutenant General Grynkewich. Mr. Sergio Orlando Sandoval Rivera, friend of Lieutenant General Grynkewich. Miss Sofia Alejandra Sandoval Cruzat, friend of Lieutenant General Grynkewich. Lieutenant Colonel retired Jim France, father of Lieutenant General France. Mrs. Amanda France, wife of Lieutenant General France. Miss Erin, Miss Maddie, and Miss Clara, the children of Lieutenant General France. We also welcome all commanders, chiefs, regional and coalition partners, and the men and women of 9th Air Force, Air Forces Central, who are in attendance tonight, and those who have joined us virtually from across the globe. Please give them a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the rendering of honors, the presentation of the colors, the Qatari national anthem, followed by the United States national anthem, played by the Qatari National Band and USAFE Band, and the Invocation. Honor Guard, post the colors.
Right shoulder, hard. Guards ready, cut. Forward, hard. Present hard. Right shoulder, hard. Colors, tinge, hot.
Chaplain writes, will you please offer the invocation?
Good afternoon. As we continue the change of command ceremony, we want to provide a moment of silence to pray or reflect in accordance with your own faith traditions and customs, which I'll follow with a more general blessing. Would you please join me in a moment of silence? If prayer is part of your tradition, I invite you to join me in a time of prayer. Almighty God, today we gather to ask your blessings on Lieutenant General Grynkewich and his family as you lead them to new opportunities and adventures at their next assignment. We thank you for his family who have supported and encouraged him along the journey and throughout this assignment, and we ask that their next assignment be a blessing to all of them. We also ask your blessings on Lieutenant General France as he assumes command. As he assumes command, we ask that you grant him discernment and wisdom for the decisions that he will make as he leads his team. Strengthen him as he mentors and equips others, that his leadership would be a blessing to all those around him. We ask also your blessings on his family, that you protect them, provide for them, encourage them as you have called the family to serve apart for a season. Bless them and reunite them soon. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I would like to introduce the Chief of Staff of Qatar Armed Forces, His Excellency, Staff Lieutenant General Pilot Salem bin Hamad Al Nabet. Test, test.
But it was working.
I know.
Assalamu alaikum. Your Excellency Timothy Davis, Ambassador of the United States. General Kurilla, my friend Eric, Commander U.S. CENTCOM, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, and distinguished guests, welcome to the absent change of command ceremony. Thank you for joining us on this occasion. It is a pleasure hosting the change of command ceremony, and it's a pleasure to have you here in such a beautiful country and beautiful weather. General Grynkewich, we would like to thank you for the exceptional role, and I see as an example, building our relationship, keeping peace and security in this important region. And it's important because we love it. We love this region, and we try our best to work together to make it important and calm. Leading the JERA conference, General, we thank you and wish you a good luck for your new assignment in the Pentagon. And I hope it is as smooth as the job here in Udeid. Lieutenant General France, the new absent commander, welcome to Qatar in your new home at Udeid Air Base. We look forward to take our relationship to the next level. I would like to assure everyone of Qatar's commitment toward the joint effort to promote security and stability on the region. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for this occasion, as we welcome the new absent commander, Lieutenant General Derek France, and we wish you a good luck for the 3 years to come. And I would like to present something for General Grynkewich. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, the presiding official for today's ceremony, the Commander, United States Central Command, General Kurilla.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. To our gracious Qatari hosts, Dr. Khalid bin Mohammed Al Attiyah and General Salman Hamad Al Nabit, a special thank you for hosting us in your home and your steadfast partnership that is so important to all that you do across the region. To our distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, family, chiefs of defense, ambassadors, diplomats, from many partners across many nations, thank you for all your support. As I look out at this audience, surrounded by representatives of our component commands, partners, allies, and friends, I'm reminded of how important these partnerships and friendships are to our collective success. This is what makes us different. When our adversaries rely on transactional relationships that they exploit at every turn, the deep friendships that are represented here today are our collective advantage. Thank you for joining us today to honor two great officers, Alex Grynkewich and Derek Trapper France, to celebrate this amazing team of Air Force professionals. I'd like to start by recognizing two amazing Air Force families. Today, Grinch's wife Shannon and his son Justin, and Trapper's wife Amanda and their three daughters, Erin, Maddie, and Clara, thank you for your unwavering support and commitment for these two leaders and the airmen they serve. Those of us wearing the uniform, we're called for this. We serve our people to defend our way of life by wearing the cloth of the nation and to sacrifice some of the things that mean the most of us in this American experiment can survive at least one more generation. But our families also serve, and often their sacrifice and their service cannot be overlooked. In the military, we know, and some of us use, four-letter words, but probably the most important one is home. Our families are our home, and while we are away, we think of it, and we think of the things that keep us going during our most difficult days. Thank you to both Grinch and the France families for all that you do for the airmen and those you serve. How about a round of applause for those families? Another team has consistently answered the call is AVCENT. Our 9th Air Force has participated in some of the most historic air campaigns in modern history, and their exploits are legendary. From Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, leading the fight against Daesh, AVCENT has set the standard for air power for more than 40 years. In fact, in the past few days, the airmen across this command raised the bar yet again, delivering a resounding defeat to an unprecedented, dangerous, and reckless Iranian attack to the state of Israel. Synchronizing the efforts across a multinational team with fighter aircraft, tankers, maintenance crews, integrated air and missile defense teams operating across the expanse of the region, the AVCENT team performed spectacularly. From the maintenance armament crews executing integrated combat turns in record time while the sky lit up with missile fire, to the pilots developing and executing new tactics in real time and in contact, there are too many firsts for us to mention here today. Your work is not done. We continue to work with all our partners in the region to maintain stability, but your exploits are known far and wide, and you are an amazing team. Amazing teams just don't come together. It takes leaders to set priorities, see through friction, and drive change. In these past 2 years, Grinch has had the stick and has been the command pilot for the AVCENT team. From the moment Grinch took command, he prioritized his people, building upon an already high-performing organization by creating a culture built on values, trust, and professional excellence. An organization that does what's right for the right reasons. An organization that responds to our nation's call and adjusts to change when needed. This is an impressive endeavor for any commander, but as Grinch would tell you, the true measure of any commander's success is not how well they perform, but how well the force performs. It's how their people respond during times of crisis. It's how they answer the call. Grinch also excelled at working with our partners. One of his priorities was to value everyone and their contributions, to include our partners. He built strong relationships with his counterparts, building a remarkable team across the region. There is no more tangible example of this than our Joint Regional Air Chiefs. Over the past 6 months of crisis across the region, the Joint Regional Air Chiefs have been a shining example of where our goals of regional integration can take us. The JRAC has served and saved lives on multiple occasions, and even in the most difficult days, the team has held the watch. Grinch has created a true combined headquarters in the KAOC, where our partnerships are vital to the success of both day-to-day operations and those in crisis. This team has not only led the way in combat, they have built a culture of innovation that is driving change across the Joint Force. Grinch directed the members of Task Force 99, AVCENT's Innovation Task Force, to run until apprehended. They have led the way in the development of low-cost and long-duration unmanned reconnaissance platforms, and they have taken the reins of our targeting process and systems, harnessing the power of our joint all-domain command and control, layering in some artificial intelligence, and applying their creativity and ingenuity to take what is an exceptional system and turned it into the gold standard across all the Department of Defense. Early on, I challenged the team to achieve the processing of over 1,000 dynamic targets in a day, and I'll admit, I didn't know if we could get there. Grinch and the AVCENT team went to work and blew right past it. Trapper, keep that in mind for the next challenge I give your team, but don't worry, I'm sure you'll get there. Grinch, you leave behind an incredibly large legacy, but I'm certain the Air Force found the right person to follow in your footsteps. Best of luck in D.C., where you'll serve as the CENTCOM LNO to the Joint Staff, with a little bit of a side hustle as the new Joint Staff Director of Operations. You're the perfect person for the job. We're fortunate to have another focused, determined, and dedicated leader to take this team over the next horizon. Lieutenant General Derek Trapper France has demonstrated his ability over 3 decades. Though he's coming to AVCENT after serving as the commander of Air Force's 3rd Air Force in Ramstein, Trapper rides for the brand and is no stranger to the CENTCOM AOR and the AVCENT team. He previously commanded the 380th Air Expeditionary Wing in Al Dhafar, UAE, and is the Deputy Detachment Commander and Instructor Pilot in the Royal Saudi Air Force Fighter Weapons School. He has served as the CENTCOM Deputy J3, so our team knows him well. Trapper is the right leader who brings depth, experience, and care to one of the most complex security situations in the world. Trapper, can't wait to see where you take this team in the days and weeks to come. And as Grinch has no doubt told you, we'll talk pretty often. Welcome to the team. Finally, I want to close by thanking the men and women of Air Force Central Command, both here in Shaw Air Force Base, for everything you do to defend our homeland and our way of life. You live out the oath that we swear, and you embody the very best of us. Thank you for what you do with our partners, and thank you for the countless hours you have spent in the air and on the ground. What you do on a daily basis matters to CENTCOM, to our allies, to our partners around the region, and to our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, General Kurilla. Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander, Lieutenant General Alexus Grynkewich.
There are only a few inviolable rules of military service, and one of them is the role of the outgoing commander is to be brief, be brilliant, and be gone. So I won't take long. Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, ambassadors, chiefs of defense, air chiefs, friends and partners from air forces across the region, distinguished guests, and to the airmen of AVCENT, I stand here before you today with a deep sense of gratitude for the privilege of having served as your commander. Sound of freedom. It's been a tremendous privilege to serve as your commander since July of 2022. It's been a demanding time for the region and for the command, but alongside our joint team and partners, we've risen to the challenge time and time again. First and foremost, I want to thank a few people, and I'll start with our Qatari partners. Your steadfast support of our presence here at Al Udeid, your commitment to regional stability, your friendships with me personally mean so very much. So to His Excellency Dr. Khalid, General Salam, General Jazim, who couldn't be here today, and my friend General Abdulaziz, who we put under a lot of pressure to pull off this event as the Chief of International Cooperation. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for hosting this ceremony, and I'll leave a part of my heart here in Qatar when I leave. I'd also like to thank General Kurilla. Sir, thank you for the kind words and for officiating this ceremony and for your leadership as we navigated some of the most perilous moments we've seen here in decades. You were a tireless advocate for Air Forces Central and trusted us with some of the most critical and sensitive operations in the region. Your trust and support was felt up and down the chain of command. There's a few Air Force leaders I need to thank. Of course, they're not here today, but General C.Q. Brown was the Chief of Staff of the Air Force when I came into this job. He had this job once upon a time, so he had a lot of advice on how to do it. And I also, of course, want to thank General Alvin, the current Chief of Staff, General Wilsbach, the current Commander of Air Combat Command, and General Grace Kelly before him. Thanks to them for their trust and confidence in AFCENT and supporting us as we execute CENTCOM's mission. To my fellow component commanders, it's been a privilege to work alongside you. To say you've been team players is a dramatic understatement. And your collaborative, non-parochial attitudes puts our Air Force and our armed forces on a tremendously good path. To all my fellow air chiefs here in the region, thank you for your partnerships, good friends in difficult times, but our bond is of great value to each of our countries, and I thank you for all of your support. To the men and women of AFCENT, a few I'd like to call out. I've had a number of tremendous deputies. I won't go through them all, but I'll talk about the current one, Paz Mino. Thank you so much for everything that you've done to support us, and I know the command remains in good hands, and best of luck as you move to 12th Air Force here this summer. My command chief, Chief Master Sergeant Katie Grabham, one of the best wingmen you could ask for, always looking out for me and looking out for our team. And of course, the commanders of our Air Expeditionary Wings and direct reporting units, and all the officers, NCOs, and airmen across the command. There's a few others that I just want to briefly highlight, and that's my front office team. I'll often say it takes a village to take care of Grynkewich, and I've got one of the best villages out there. My prior exec, Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Gassman, and my current Colonel Shawana Parker, or Shawana Wana Wana, as General Kurilla might refer to her. To my previous aide-de-camp, KB, and my current aide-de-camp, Fergie, my previous CAG chief, Jack Sparrow, and my current YAC, Cass. Thank you guys for everything that you do for the front office and to keep this machine running. I'd also, of course, be remiss if I didn't talk about Shannon and Justin. Their support in this job has been critical to sustaining it. As General Kurilla mentioned, one of the best deals we get as the U.S. military is our families. They get drafted into this business and they serve unflinchingly. And I know many of the airmen here are away from their families and depend on their support back home. But I couldn't have done this without Shannon and Justin and their unwavering support. So thank you guys. Thank you. The challenges we face here in AFCENT are not unlike the challenges our predecessors have overcome. Your tireless efforts for all the airmen across this command and all the commanders contributed to great progress and success we've achieved. We couldn't do this without all of our coalition partners and the senior national reps that are here today and senior leaders who represent them. The sacrifices of the entire joint and combined team have not gone unnoticed, whether it's executing precision airstrikes, providing crucial logistic support, or engaging with our local communities here in the region. This dynamic region is not slowing down, and I appreciate all of your dedication to it. As General France takes the helm, I'll just say I could not be happier to hand over this command to such a tremendous officer and a tremendous family. Shannon and I have known Amanda and Trapper for several years. We've flown together, we've commanded side by side, and he and his family are absolutely incredible, and you're in tremendous hands. So Trapper, congratulations to you and Amanda. The challenges ahead may be formidable, but I've got no doubt that under Trapper's leadership, the airmen of AFCENT will meet them with the same determination and commitment that defined our last 2 years together and the last many decades of heritage that we have. So stay strong, stay focused, continue to make us proud, and I've got every confidence that you'll emerge victorious. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant General Grynkewich. We will now have General Kurilla, Lieutenant General France, and Lieutenant General Grynkewich come center stage for the change of command. The change of command is a traditional event. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the unit's colors. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing the responsibilities to the organization. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of command responsibility and authority from the old commander to the new. The 9th Air Force, Air Force's Central Senior Enlisted Leader, Command Chief Master Sergeant Katie Grabham is the custodian of the colors. When the colors are not displayed for the commander, they are in the care of the command Senior Enlisted Leader. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the official change of command. Sir, permission to publish the order. Attention to orders. According to Special Order G-24-04, effective 18 April 2024, by direction of the President of the United States, Lieutenant General Alexus G. Grynkewich relinquishes command to Lieutenant General Derek C. France, effective 18 April 2024. Ladies, gentlemen, and official party, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 9th Air Force, Air Forces Central, Lieutenant General Derek C. France.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, good afternoon, my distinguished guests, ambassadors, chiefs of defense, General Salim, commanders, flag officers, generals, senior enlisted leaders, airmen of 9th Air Force and AFCENT, my coalition partners, family and friends, and anyone else I forgot. Thank you so much for being here today. I do want to thank the team that put this amazing event together, the project officers, Major Breadstick, and his team that saw to so many countless details. And to my Qatari Air Force friends, thank you for hosting this in this amazing hangar. Thank you for these fantastic static displays of air power we have over to your right and my left. And understanding that this is done on the heels of Eid and puts you in a little bit of a bind. So thank you so much for all you've done. To our combined band, our combined honor guard, thank you for being here today. As I listen to the music and watch the honor guard stand shoulder to shoulder, proudly displaying the flags and the colors of our two nations, it reminds me that just as they march in formation, so we too fly in formation. And our nations stand together as strategic partners for peace and stability in this region. And as I listen to our national anthem, it reminds me that the United States is a country born in battle. And while we will never look for a fight, we will certainly defend the freedoms and values that we hold dear, again, side by side with our partners. Chaplain, thank you for starting us off, reminding us of the Almighty's sovereignty, despite all of our planning and execution. And I personally am reminded of what I consider the deployer's prayer out of Psalm 139, that though I ride in the wings of the morning and dwell in the furthest oceans, even the hair, your hand will guide me and your strength support me. General Kurilla, as I mentioned earlier, it has been a historic and busy week. Thank you for being here. More importantly, thank you for the trust and confidence to be part of your joint team. And finally, thank you for the honor and privilege of leading airmen of 9th Air Force and AFCENT, America's sons and daughters in harm's way. It is not a responsibility I take lightly, and it has my full attention. To Grinch, my friend, thank you for the incredible handoff, the standard, non-standard, standard AFCENT handoff that we've had over the past week. Thank you for all you've done. Your fingerprints of your leadership is all over this organization, and it is running on all 9 cylinders. I wish you blue skies and all the very best in the Joint Staff J3, and when it comes to global force management decisions, please remember where you came from. To my family and friends watching online, this is not the first time that you have gotten up early for a change of command and watched on a Zoom or a phone or a TV. So thank you for getting up, and more importantly, thank you for the continued sacrifices of this way of life. To my daughters and my son-in-law, I miss you, I love you, I'm very proud of you, and as always, I remain in your corner. And to my wife, Amanda, my partner, not only in command, but in life, thank you for all you do and your support. Thank you for times when my ego needs a little bit of adjusting and a notch or two down, and also thank you for boosting my confidence when that's required. I rely on your support every day, whether we're in the same town or thousands of miles apart, and I love you very much. This is normally a time when someone would trot out with a bouquet of flowers if you were here, so we will take a rain check on that piece of it. To the airmen of 9th Air Force and AFCENT, I first must acknowledge that most of you are deployed as well, and you're serving far from home without your families and missing historic and life events. So thank your families for me, as General Kurilla said, for the sacrifices that they make every day. While you are here, you are making history, no doubt, this week. You can be sure that I will continue to value the contributions of all airmen to this fight. It is how we execute as a team. And while our fundamentals and our core values, they won't change, we will continue to innovate and look at new and better ways of bringing air power to the point of need. And finally, to my coalition partners, Combined Air Forces of Central Command, I will pledge to you today that we will continue this journey we are of mutual trust, mutual respect, and mutual partnership in how we execute everything we do. And while we may have different perspectives at times and different priorities and different cultures, we are all here for the same reason, and it is for the peace, stability, and security of this region. And the other thing that we have in common is that we are all airmen, and we understand that things like speed and precision are important. But the fact of the matter is a single airplane from a single country has speed and precision, and it's not enough. When you have 2 airplanes, you have mutual support. When you have 4, you have flexibility. When you have 8, you can mass firepower, or, as the case of about 30 minutes ago, humanitarian aid to the people of Palestine. And when you added the integrated and coalition contributions to that, all of the enablers that come from the air component, and integrate that into the joint team, then you have resiliency and you have synergy. And that is how we prevail. That is how we win. That's what airmen do. So in closing, I'm honored by everyone's attendance here today. Thank you for taking the time. I'm humbled to accept the flag of 9th Air Force AFCENT, and I'm proud to wear the patches and count myself amongst this team. Shukran, and thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant General France. In keeping with Air Force tradition, we will conclude today's ceremony with the playing of the United States Air Force song. We invite all of our guests to join us in singing. The lyrics can be found on the back of your program. Please remain standing for the Air Force song and the departure of the official party and distinguished guests. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please proceed through the receiving line to offer your congratulations and join us for a reception to welcome Lieutenant General France.